And welcome to Cablevision's Meet the Leaders program. I'm David Smith. We are switching gears. We're heading from Westport in the 136th District up the road to Orange. And First Selectman James Zeoli is joining us. He's a Republican First Selectman. It's great to have you with us. Welcome,
good morning.
Mr.
Good to be here.
Mr. Selectman. It's nice to have you along with us today on Meet the Leaders.
Thank you.
You've got a busy time in Orange. There's always things happening there, that's for sure. As you take a look at the new priorities heading toward 2008, what are you seeing as major concerns that you have?
Concerns. Our biggest concern as we head into the budget process is energy is one of my biggest concerns. It's a big driver in everybody's home expenses, and if you think about that on the municipal level, with 16 or 18 buildings that the town of Orange has and operates, excluding the school system as well, between electricity and heat and all that is a very major concern with these rising costs. We did join into a consortium with CCM, Connecticut Conference of Municipalities, and we're locked in on the purchasing of our electric, and we do bid our price out, and we have relatively good prices for our oil and gas for the town. But nonetheless, those costs just keep driving. And on the volume that we consume, we need to constantly watch those costs and constantly watch the consumption of it and make sure that everything is being done properly. Our library commission has just come up with some energy saving measures that, working hand in hand with the UI, it's over $30,000, and United Illuminating came up with almost half of that for these cost energy efficient savings measures for the town, and that was a welcome help for us to receive.
That's very exciting. So have you got a committee that's working on this, researching the town buildings and so forth to ascertain where you can make some savings?
We're looking into also into some solar voltaics, harnessing the sun energy and turning it into some electricity. We've looked at a project that was done down here in Westport, on the Westport Firehouse, I believe. They're working on one, and other communities around are looking into this. Our neighbors in Woodbridge are also looking into this, and we need to look at other opportunities out there to where initial costs may be high, but in the long run it's a benefit for our residents now and in generations to come. We need to be aware of the earth and what condition we're gonna leave it in for the future.
Well, with the rising costs of everything, the payback becomes quicker and quicker on those
investments,
absolutely
doesn't it? Yeah, it absolutely does. What goes from a 10 or 12 year payback all of a sudden can drop to 6 or 7 years, which makes it very very appealing.
Very exciting, and virtually no maintenance on most of those things too, which leads to more savings.
Limited. So multiple benefits to it for us.
Well, now speaking of budgets, budgetary time is going to be here before you know it, and as you scope things out, looking toward 2008 and beyond, how does it look? Nobody likes to see raises in taxes, but no, that's not real world not to expect it.
And we need to work as hard as we can at that, because we just had to do the first year of a 5-year phase-in. We had to go through the reevaluation process as state mandated, and we did opt to phase it in over 5 years, but if you don't keep the budgetary expenses under control, that'll affect each year of that phase-in as more and more is needed. You can't just let consumption, whether it's labor or purchases, the energy, you need to be aware constantly of where you can operate better. As some people say, do more with less, and look at opportunities for purchases and best cost savings we can, and whether it be labor or hard goods.
Those are the tough decisions that boards of finance have to make, and you all as selectmen obviously have to oversee, I guess.
Yeah, it comes to the first selectman first. After the departments compile their numbers, it comes to us for the first cuts.
And I suspect a lot of your hands are somewhat tied with union contracts and things like that you really don't have anything to do about.
Contractuals are a big driver, and you have to be aware of that. Everybody's expenses to live are going up, so we need to beware of that when we're negotiating with employee groups that work for the town and for the community.
Sure.
Yeah.
And they give of themselves long
Yes,
and
they
hard,
do.
too.
Yes, they do.
Orange is such a pretty town. You've got still some farms, as you
I'm
well
one of them.
know firsthand,
Yep.
the diligence that goes into the farm situation. Open space is something that all of our area towns are concerned with. How are you all doing in Orange with maintaining that open space?
Well, the town of Orange was very active. I was criticized for an open space purchase that we did just this year. And we were fortunate. We received a state open space watershed grant for $500,000 as part of that purchase. Out of 41 grants that were awarded by the state DEP, there were 6, I believe, that were $500,000. That was the maximum that any one community received.
Well done.
And we were one of those 6. That was quite gratifying, and it's a beautiful piece of property that has extensive frontage on both Tyler City Road and Lambert Road, and it's just below the town hall, so it helps retain some of the openness and more suburban feel of our community.
An Orange character that people
Orange
are used
character.
to. Right?
And we're continuing beyond that. We've been approached by some property owners in town that a few months ago weren't interested. And now, as they do some of their estate planning and expenses and all, they would like to see these views and vistas preserved for people of the community, and allows them to do their planning for the future of themselves and their families. So we're looking into that now too.
Well, that's very exciting, and to maintain the character of a town like that with the pressures that there are from all sorts of
Yes.
commercial interests is very
Sure.
difficult to do.
Development values in Orange are still very high, where real estate has slumped in some areas. Prices in Orange are still rather strong. Yeah.
Well, speaking of that sort of thing, the economic development continues.
Yes.
And you've been seeing an influx of new retailers and so forth to the town, haven't you?
We are. We're very fortunate. We landed a LL Bean outlet store in Orange, and that store brings in so much merchandise, and every day it's changing merchandise, and it's very exciting to get a name like that to come to land in Orange. They're just up from the Milford Mall. They wanted to be nearby, but not quite in. And they're anchored with, a Talbot's and Trader Joe's and Bertucci's, all in that plaza. And it's a great base there, and that is feeding the whole development of the Post Road. Yeah, we have some empty store space on our Post Road, and we're welcoming anybody out there who's watching who would be interested in locating in Orange with the right fit. And we have good professional development space being done there. We have a beautiful complex just about ready for tenants. Brookside Commons is developed. It's retail first floor boutique space and professional space overhead. It's a beautiful complex on Indian River Road, right by the Christmas tree shops in that vicinity.
Right.
And right directly across from that, we welcome the Field Brothers development, who I believe are based right here in Norwalk, have purchased a 24-acre site that they're planning on developing as mixed use, part professional, part commercial other than that. And we're very excited about having them in the town of Orange. They took a piece of property that was farm property that fell on hard times, and they're going to bring it up and on the tax rolls, and that is a benefit to the Fields family, but certainly to the town of Orange, and we're very excited about that.
Well, to that end, of course, Stu Leonard's has been trying to put a new Stu Leonard's into Orange for a long time. Where does that stand as far as you're concerned?
Stu Leonard's is actually adjoins the piece of property that the Fields family purchased, and it's in court, has been in court. A Judge Nadeau felt that there were some merits of a neighborhood group that has brought lawsuit against that site, and when that is completed in the courts, Stu Leonard's will have to make their decision as to whatever corrections may be deemed required by the courts or not. And they will probably break ground then up there on that, on Marsh Hill for that site. They did do a beautiful job with a store up in Newington. They refurbed there, but that was on the Berlin Pike, right in the commercial area. It was an existing Caldors that they had refurbed. This is a little bit different, so it has sparked some different community concerns within Orange, but they have passed all the tests and passed the zoning regulations, and like I said, once the courts decide what needs to be corrected or done with these concerns of that were brought forth, then that will happen. That's right by exit 41 on 95.
Do you see any time frame that this might be happening? Is there
I
any
don't.
indication from the courts as to when they might?
No,
rule?
I've spoken with Mr. Hempstead on several occasions about this, who's a Stu Leonard's.
That's Doug Hempstead.
Doug,
Oh,
yes.
Stu's, yeah.
And they're anticipating, 6 months to a year out on this, which makes it rather difficult because there is a road there that we would like to see built, Edison Road, which is part of their approval, and part of it exists and part of it doesn't at this time. And we would like to get going on the development of that road through this commercial industrial corridor. And we're hoping that we can work with the Stu Leonard's representatives and get that road moving along by spring.
Clearly, you are not going to be idle.
No, I'm not idle. There are so many things going on and so many different groups working on good projects in town, whether it's with the arts or the sciences. Yale University made a large purchase that it adjoins both West Haven and Orange for $109 million.
That's great.
Part of that is a pledge of science in the schools.
It is very exciting, and we look forward to having you back again in the near future. And
Thank
we
you.
appreciate your stopping by today. And I know you want to hear from your constituents.
Absolutely.
And we've got the information on how you can get in touch with First Selectman James Zeoli of Orange. There it is, 617 Orange Center Road in Orange, 203-891-2122, and email right below. Hey, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
It has been great. And,
pleasure.
Stay warm. We got some
It's a little chilly out there.
Chilly weather
It is a little
coming
chilly.
on with winter time.
Well, it happens.
Yeah, it sure does, and that's what it's all about. That's the wonder of New England. There's no question.
There goes our snow budget.
Listen, we want to thank Representative Joe Mioli and First Selectman James Zeoli of Orange for joining us on Meet the Leaders this go-round. And we want to remind you, we are here with you on Cablevision, never on Phone Company TV. And if you have any comments or questions, send your email in. MTLCT, that's Meet the Leaders Connecticut, cablevisions.com, and we'll see you next time. I'm David Smith. Bye-bye.